Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is me, Cassandra. I'm just back to let you guys know what I've been up to, and I wanted to do this video for a long time now because I have been on the ketogenic diet now since the beginning of the year, since basically January 2nd was my official day. So it's been nearly 7 months. I've been wanting to record my journey and everything, and I just wanted to share my experience, but honestly, I've just been really lazy, but I decided I'm just going to go ahead and record and let you guys know my experience. And I was also thinking of making a separate channel, which I will probably link down below, and I'm also going to put all kinds of other links about everything that's kind of helped me begin the diet to begin with. So let me just go ahead and get started for the reasons why I personally went on the ketogenic diet to begin with. It's not definitely, I think everybody could benefit from it, but I don't think it is for everybody, just because you have to have a really good why you're going to do it to begin with. So for those of you who are like super new to this and you've never even heard of it, even though it's really popular now, if you haven't heard of it, a ketogenic diet is basically a diet where you are eating high fats and you want to try to be healthy fats, moderate protein, and low carbs. So it's kind of like the Atkins diet. I'm sure most people have heard of that. So it's kind of like the Atkins diet, but way more strict when it comes to the carbs. Like as far as like fruits and stuff like that, you really can't have very many of those. So it's very different than anything I've ever tried. I've been on diets before in the past, nothing too crazy. I've never done like a low carb diet. I didn't do Atkins or anything like that. I know you're looking at me and you're thinking, oh my god, you're skinny, what are you talking about? But I've always had a little bit of a lower belly. Wasn't really that big of a deal. I've always hated it, but you know, I've accepted it. My mother-in-law actually went on this diet for health reasons to get off some medications. A lot of people who go on the ketogenic diet do it because they want to, you know, they're pre-diabetic, so they want to prevent actually going into diabetes, or it can help you, surprisingly, can actually help you with some parts of your cholesterol too. So there's lots of help in it. So she went on it to try to get off some of her medications, and of course is a benefit to lose weight as well. And I did not really ask her to send me this book, but she did. I'm still to this day, I don't really know why she sent it to me, but I like to read, so I did. I read it. It is called The Obesity Code. This book is amazing. It's by Jason Fung. He's really one of the people who kind of set out and he did a lot of research on this diet with in terms of like health, not just like weight loss, but health, what it does health-wise. And then there's another book that she sent me too, The Complete Guide to Fasting. So I'm not really going to get into fasting, but basically when you are on a ketogenic diet, you are a lot less hungry, and naturally you are going to eat less and fast more, because the more fat you eat, the more full you are and the less hungry you are. When you're eating carbs, you are usually hungry a lot because your body burns through them, and it sends a signal to your brain. Your stomach sends a signal to your brain saying, hey, we burned through all those carbs, we need more for energy. But when you're in ketosis, or you're doing the ketogenic diet and you are fat adapted, your body actually doesn't need carbs to for energy. It doesn't need carbs to burn for energy, so it burns fat instead. So if you're, you know, it does take longer for the fat to digest and stuff, but if you have run out of food, your body just uses the fat stored on your body to burn instead, so you don't need to eat. So that's another reason why, you know, just naturally fasting kind of works with this diet. But I'm not really going to go into fasting very much, although I do sometimes do a little bit of intermittent fasting here and there, but nothing too crazy. But anyway, so the reason why I started is because I read this amazing book, The Obesity Code, and it talks a lot about things that I never really knew, because, you know, we're taught that fat is bad, it's bad for us, you want to do low fat, but a lot of the low fat products out there, you'll notice, have sugar in them. This book basically tells you like the history of the American Heart Association, the food pyramid and all of that. It goes into detail about how basically it's wrong and it has been for many years. And the study mainly that they used to base the pyramid on to begin with wasn't really all that accurate, but they went for it anyways. But so I highly recommend that book. I will put the links down below, but definitely if you're interested in the diet, that is something that you really should read. It's really eye-opening. So I was never overweight. I did have a little bit of baby weight to lose, not a lot. I have lost 10 pounds. I lost it in about 3 months with the diet. So now I'm basically maintaining, and I'm trying to build muscle right now. But I planned on going on this diet for just 1 month, so 30 days. Because I was reading the book and everything, it kind of changed my thought process on food. And I started to realize how sugar is just in everything, all the processed food and everything. So it was really eye-opening. Once I read that, it was hard for me to continue to eat the way that I was eating. But I did decide, I was like, well, I'll just give it 30 days just for fun. It is January. It just happened to be January 2nd. So I'm like, I'll make it like a thing. You know, everybody's doing these things for New Year's. So I made it a thing. I said I was going to do it for 30 days. Well, funny thing is, after 2 weeks of doing the diet, I felt amazing. I felt better than I've ever felt in my life. I had a lot of energy. I just felt really good. So once that happened, I just didn't want to go out of ketosis because I felt so good. So my reasons why I started the diet, first of all, was because I read the book, because my mother-in-law was doing it. I was just trying to be supportive and learn about it. And another thing is prevention and just being healthy in general. I like to be healthy. I like to eat healthy. Even, I mean, if you've seen my videos before, I do like to eat healthier. And, you know, I just want to live a long, healthy life like the rest of us, right? So that was my reason why. Everybody's why is different, but if you are going to do the diet, you want to make sure that you have a good why, because the first 2 weeks are very hard to do, because your body has to adjust from carbs, because when you're used to using carbs for energy, your body is gonna tell you, oh my god, what are you doing? I need carbs. Like, you might get a lot of negative symptoms in the beginning while your body is adapting. So like keto flu is one of them, headaches, stuff like that. So why I'm continuing the diet, like I kind of mentioned, I feel really, really, really good on the diet. My skin is much more clearer. It's softer. My complexion to me looks great. I've noticed I have a lot more energy. I sleep better. Some people do get sleep insomnia on the diet. I did not. I do sleep less, but I feel like I don't need as much sleep as I used to. Like, I still get maybe around 7 hours of sleep, but like when I wake up in the morning, like I'm up, I'm ready to go, I'm good. I'm not ever like really groggy or drowsy like I used to be. I feel better in the clothes that I wear. I definitely feel like everything fits me better. I did lose about 10 pounds after I had kind of, you know, given birth to my son and kind of plateaued to my normal. I was about 110 pounds-ish, and now I'm about 100. I usually range 99 to 101 is my range. And by the way, for me, that is kind of normal. I am 5'2", so yeah, I'm not anorexic or anything like that. I'm pretty short, but my clothes fit better. I used to wear my normal that I've always worn pretty much my whole life, other than when I was pregnant, has been about a size 7, sometimes a 5 in juniors. Like, I pretty much wear juniors because I'm really short, and then the petite stuff, it's just too old looking for me. So in juniors, that's usually what I wear. But now I've gone down to size 3, and that's pretty much where I'm staying, and I feel more comfortable in that size than I did the other size. So I just feel more comfortable in my skin. One of the negatives, though, is if you do this diet, most women do lose a lot of weight up here and in their chest. So I did lose a lot. I'm probably close to an A or maybe pushing a B cup now. Before I was like, I thought I was a full B or possibly a C, but after the whole pregnancy thing and breastfeeding, I ended up being like double D and stuff. So going from breastfeeding double D all the way down to probably an A now is quite dramatic, and my breasts do look a lot different than they used to. They definitely sag a little more. They do look a little deflated. That for me is really the only real big negative from going on this diet. However, I feel so good that I've accepted it, and you know, I feel bad for my husband, and he's sad about it too, but you know, that's that. That is one negative. I do feel like I eat way healthier. The foods that I crave are healthier foods. My favorite thing to eat are nuts. I do macadamia nuts, pecans, walnuts. I love sunflower seeds. One of my favorite like desserts or snacks before bed is celery with almond butter or celery with peanut butter, all natural, no sugar, nothing like that, not like the Jif or anything. It's just like either 1 or 2 ingredients, peanuts and salt, sometimes just peanuts. And it's really, I just feel like I'm craving those things. My body needs those things. I feel like they're healthier. Another reason why I'm continuing the diet is because I'm not a slave to food anymore. Before, I would wake up in the morning and I was like, I have to eat breakfast. I was so hungry, like right away. Every single morning, right when I woke up, within like 30 minutes, I needed to eat. And you know, a lot of people don't get hungry in the morning. I wasn't one of those, especially eating carbs. So now that I've switched, I actually most mornings don't eat breakfast anymore. My first meal generally is around 11 or 12 unless I'm fasting, and most mornings I'll just drink a bulletproof coffee or a bulletproof tea, which is one of the huge benefits of being on this diet. It's amazing if you haven't heard of it. I will definitely put some links down below, but it's basically coffee or tea where you add good fats in there. I usually put coconut oil. Some people use butter. I prefer the taste of coconut, so I put coconut oil in there, or MCT oil, which is medium chain triglycerides, which your body uses as energy immediately. It doesn't really even have to break it down. So when you have the MCT oil or powder, it's amazing. You feel great. I also put cacao powder in there sometimes. You know, I mix it up. But basically, it's just a really great energy drink for you in the morning, and it keeps you full and satiated until your next meal. Love that. Another thing I love about this diet is I'm way more motivated to do things because I'm not like, I don't know, I guess before I would like wake up, I'm starving, I'd eat like either cereal or a whole bunch of pancakes or whatever, and then after that I'd be like, oh, I'm full, and like you're not motivated to do anything, you're just digesting your food, right? So now I have more time to do things and I have more energy to do things. So I've noticed I organize things more, especially in the very beginning, like the first couple months of doing the diet. I was organizing my kitchen, Darren's closet, his room, everything. So organization, everything. And that makes me feel good, like I'm being productive. And I still do have that energy level now, but I can still be lazy, but I still have this almost about the same energy that I did before. But now instead of organizing, sometimes I'll go hiking or something like that. Another thing that is amazing is the mental clarity. I feel like I can think clearer. There's not like brain fog going on like before. Sometimes you just, I don't really know how to describe it, but you just feel sharper. You feel like you can think faster. You just feel good. So that's one of the reasons why I'm still continuing to do this diet or lifestyle change, way of eating, however you want to say it. Another thing that has helped me is my periods, actually. My periods have gotten a little heavier when I first started, especially the very first one. I was a little concerned. I even had to Google it. There was so much blood, like never before. Like I went through boxes of tampons and stuff. Well, and now I use the menstrual cup. But anyways, it was really heavy. But the weirdest thing was it just came out of nowhere. Usually before, when I was about to start my period, I would have either cramps in my stomach, or I'd feel bloated, or I would get really moody and have a lot of like fatigue or cramps in my thighs. But ever since being in ketosis, no longer do I have any cramps at all. Not even one little, nothing in my thighs, nothing in my stomach. I feel normal. I feel like I normally do, except for a little bit more bloated, like I am on my period today. So I do feel a little bit more bloated, a little bit more water retention, but nothing crazy. So whenever my period comes, it's a surprise now. So, I mean, it's kind of a negative, but kind of a positive, because I don't feel the pain that I used to feel before. Another thing that's a positive for me is I have more bathroom regularity. I have always suffered from like constipation and stuff, and you would think with this diet, with the high fats, with the cheeses, you can eat cheese, bacon, all that stuff in moderation, that you would have issues going to the bathroom. But for me, I actually go more regularly now. usually almost every single day, whereas before it would be like once every 3 to 4 days sometimes, and that was with me eating fiber and eating carbs. So, you know, society and everything, they're telling us, oh, you need more fiber. I mean, I just went to the doctor recently and she was telling me, make sure you're eating enough fiber, make sure you're eating enough fiber. Well, I don't really eat that much fiber now, and I'm more regular than I've ever been. So that's a positive. When I first started, though, the first month, it did take some time to change. I, at first, was a little constipated, a little pebbly, but that was when my body was going through the changes, and then after that, it's like I've been fine since. So that is normal when your body is transitioning, and everybody is different. Another thing that I like about the diet, and the reason why I haven't changed, is I love it. I love eating all of this stuff. I love eating eggs and bacon and cheese and all the nuts and salads. I eat salad almost every day, and I love it. I feel like I'm healthier that way. And I read food labels now. Very, very little processed food do I eat. I've always loved cooking, but now pretty much the majority of my food I cook. So like if I want a bagel, I make it homemade. If I want pancakes, I totally have to make it homemade with like almond flour or coconut flour. Just stuff like that. So it's just a healthier way of living. Eating out isn't that hard on the diet either, so that's another reason why it's pretty easy to continue with the diet. I mean, I can pretty much go almost anywhere and get something somewhere. Basically, most places have like burgers, and you can get it without the bun, or salads. There's usually some sort of veggie and protein that you can have. And a lot of places are really cool. You can tell them, hey, instead of fries, can I just get veggies on the side? And they're totally cool with that. There are some negatives to the diet. So some negatives are, obviously I've already talked about the boob lossage. That was a very, very big deal, and that was probably the very first thing that I lost when I lost all of my weight. I also noticed losing a lot of weight right in my shoulders for some reason. So like I have this little bump, this little bone thing here, that I noticed right away. I lost it in my neck and face too. It was very strange. I don't know if you guys can tell, but looking at other videos and stuff, and people did ask me, hey, you look like you're losing weight. Like you lose it in your face pretty much right away. Another negative is a lot of it, like if you are craving stuff that's carby, like donuts and stuff, which I do crave, you have to make it yourself. So there is a lot of prepping with it. Right now, though, the ketogenic diet is exploding. So I can go to the grocery store and actually find processed food that is keto friendly. But a lot of these foods that are keto friendly are low carb, but they're not very nutrient dense. So I mean, you know, you could still be in ketosis, lose weight, and eat these things, but are they really good for you and healthy? Maybe not so much. So a lot of the stuff, you know, you have to do a lot of meal prepping. On the weekends is when I cook and clean. Basically, that's what I do on the weekends now. I do hard-boiled eggs, so I have it for the week, and I pre-cook all my bacon. That way I can put it in my salad if I'm going to have bacon. My son recently has learned to love bacon, so it doesn't stay in my house very long. But don't get me wrong, when you're on the diet, I know people, the first thing they think of if they have heard of the ketogenic diet is, oh, these people just eat cheese and bacon all day. No, it's not like that. If I do eat bacon, it's usually one piece, and I just sprinkle it on my salad. There are a lot of men who are on the diet who, you know, they do eat like just steak and eggs for dinner, and that's fine. They lose weight that way. I personally don't eat a lot of protein on the diet. I prefer to just eat fat and drink fat. Like that's what I do. Another negative is in the beginning, you probably are going to be going to the restroom a lot. Like you're going to think you're pregnant. I thought I was pregnant. I was peeing so much. That is just, I guess, when you're in the transitioning points, because you have to drink a lot of water in the beginning. When you're not eating carbs, your body basically is not holding on to all the minerals. Like you're peeing out minerals. So in the beginning, like I had to drink a lot of water with salt, like Himalayan salt water, and I still do that, but it seemed to have finally like it's kind of calmed down a bit. I don't drink as much as I did in the beginning. In the beginning, I was thirsty all the time. I was drinking a lot of the pink Himalayan salt water, and I was peeing a lot, and that can be annoying. So that was kind of a negative because I don't like to go to the bathroom. It's a waste of time. Some people have insomnia. I didn't, but some people do on the diet, so that's something to be aware of. And then when you first start out, there are like a huge like number of symptoms you can have. Keto flu is one of them. It's basically where you feel like you have the flu. For some people, it lasts like a week. I got it. It only lasted me about a day and a half. And I literally thought I was just getting sick. So I didn't even think it was the flu until it went away. And I was like, oh, it was just the keto flu. People get that when they are not, basically you have to have all the right electrolytes and minerals. So for me, even though I was doing the pink saltwater drink, I obviously wasn't doing it enough. And I don't think that I don't even remember now, but I don't think I did it in the very, very beginning. Like, I think when I researched why I had the keto flu, and I was like, oh, I need to increase my mineral intake. So a lot of it has to do with, you know, balancing your electrolytes and stuff like that in the beginning. Some people can get like bad breath. That's temporary. It's just from your body releasing ketones and stuff. Those are pretty much the only things that I really noticed. Oh, how can I forget? I got the keto rash and it would not go away. So the keto rash is something that not everybody gets either. I got it like, I want to say the second or third month in, and it was bad and it was itchy, and I kept getting it on my stomach and like my chest area, and it just itched and it'd be bumpy and rashy. And I kept researching it, and people said you just have to do liver enzymes and all this, and I tried everything and it wasn't working. Finally, I went on, I think, a vacation or something. I don't know, but I basically cheated and took a couple days off and just ate carbs. They were healthier carbs. It wasn't anything crazy, but I did eat carbs. I got out of ketosis for a few days, went back in, slowly dropped my carb intake, and then now I do every single day. I'm very good at taking my, I take turmeric supplements, and I take a liver enzyme supplement as well. It's like dandelion root. I will link all of those in the comments, not in the comments, but in the little box below. And I think that it helps because sometimes when I forget to take it before a meal, I'll start feeling a little tiny bit itchy, and I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta take my supplements. And that seems to be fine. I haven't really had it since. So that's it. That's the reason why I'm doing this. I hope that you guys feel inspired to try it. It works. If I wanted to lose more weight, I could. But I'm at a point right now where I'm maintaining, and I'm really obsessed with food still. I love food. I love to eat. It's just that now I usually just eat less, or less frequently, I should say. Definitely don't snack as much as I did before. But I love this way of eating. I love this lifestyle. I'm going to, I'm thinking about anyway, creating a new channel. I will put that, you know, below if I do. I'm thinking about just putting some of my not my recipes, but recipes that I've tried through Pinterest, which ones worked and which ones didn't, because I've gone through a lot of great keto recipes and a lot of really, really sucky ones that I'm like, wow, this sucks. And I've learned a lot. So I was thinking of maybe having a channel where I could put some of those things on there and be like, look, I tried these 3 pancake recipes from Pinterest, and, you know, this was the best one, blah, 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 show you guys, you know, the results of that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Would you be interested in something like that? Should I do that? Would you guys watch that? Do you want to continue with my journey? Do you want me to show you what I eat in a day and how I got to be the way that I am now? Also, in the beginning, I didn't work out, so I lost this weight without doing anything but changing my eating habits. I do work out now. I just go once a week though, and it's for an hour, and it's mostly to gain muscle at this point. It's not to lose much fat, although I still do have a little bit of a belly. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and stand up and show you guys what I look like now. If you guys followed me from the past, you'll know that I have stretch marks from my son Darren. Oh, sorry. So this is what I look like these days. I do have some muscles now in my upper torso that I've never had before. But yeah, I've lost a lot of weight in my upper body. My boobs are tiny now. This is basically what I look like now. And I still don't have abs. That is my actual goal. I don't know that I can ever do that though. But you can see too here, I pretty much always wear sports bras now. My boobs are pretty flat nowadays. But I feel comfortable in my clothes when I wear them. I don't feel bloated anymore or fat. This is just what I look like now. So if you guys have any questions or anything like that, please, 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 I want to hear from you. Mamas, I know if you guys have some weight to lose, if you're not breastfeeding, this is awesome. If you're breastfeeding, however, I don't think it's a good idea to do this diet. You need a lot of extra calories when you're breastfeeding. But let me know, would you guys be interested in seeing what I eat in a day? Do you want to know more about the diet? I can go into detail about how awesome it is, and all the benefits. There's so many benefits to this diet medically. So yeah, let me know. I want to hear from you, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.